First Timothy chapter 5, verse 8. But if any provide not for his own, and specially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. Bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai, bracket the Yahweh, bracket the Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakah Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of great millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Ahchyam out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5, verse 8 is that we're coming in a time where things are getting expensive. Inflation's kicking in. I'm pretty sure brothers have seen videos of, all right, certain Jake, whether it be male or female, complaining how, okay, life sucks, it's getting hard, they don't have enough money to put food on the table, right? Right? So, does that mean a believer in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, seeing all that, does that mean you, okay, don't do what you need to be doing as a man, providing for yourself, okay? If one job isn't cutting it, you may need two jobs. Let's go into the word provide. All right, we're here in captivity to serve out punishment, okay? Provide. Pronoio. To perceive before, foresee, right. We were telling our people, well, starting with the apostles, decades upon decades upon decades, inflation's going to come in, things are going to get more expensive, there's going to be food shortages, all right? The purchasing power, all right, is being diminished, right? Isn't that what we kept saying? It's happening now. They just keep printing money, all right? Inflation's kicking in. This is what we were prophesying. So, as a prophet, you're foreseeing beforehand, okay, things that are coming. So, while you're doing that, you should be, okay, acknowledging, all right, taking thought or care of the things that need to be done while you wait for the Lord. Make sure your bills are on time. If you know you got a payment coming up, okay, you shouldn't just put it off. All right, to that very day. If you know your lease is up, you shouldn't put it off. All right? These are the things that you have to be doing while you wait on the Lord. They're not even pushing the digital all yet. We're still spending fiat currency that they're inflating. Again, provide goes into perceive before, foresee. To provide, think of beforehand. To provide for one. To take thought, care for a thing. Right. This is the condition of the battle, and it's only going to get harder. So, all right, as a believer in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, you're supposed to be doing what the scripture says. Okay? We're not in the spirit of this procrastination, the act of delaying or postponing something. All right? That's what 2/3 are into. That's what Esau is into, right? Kicking the can down the road. Just constantly borrowing money, spending money, not worrying about the biggest debt he has created, which is a blessing for us because we know that by him creating his biggest debt, the economy is going to collapse right in his face. We don't move like that. Okay? Let's continue on. Let me finish up before I get into this one. 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he hath denied the faith, and is worse than an infidel. When you go into the word infidel, okay, it's apistos. It means unfaithful, faithless, not to be trusted, unbelieving, incredulous. Okay, that's what these 2/3 here in Babylon are. Incredulous. Okay, unwilling, unable to believe something. Right. Okay, you're worse than an unbeliever. Let's get another scriptures. Sirach 29 and 21. I'll start at 20, but the point is in 21. Help thy neighbor according to thy power. Right. According to thy power. Not according to, okay, here's everything, and now I'm what? Now I'm, what does it say after that? And beware that thou thyself fall not into the same. Right. Now I'm falling. Now I'm okay, asked out, for lack of words. 21. The chief thing, let's go to the word the chief. Chief meaning main, principal, utmost, primary, prime, first, cardinal, dominant, highest, okay? The chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. Right. And you notice that came in after verse 20. Why? Because in order for obtain that here in Babylon the Great, you need money. Right? You need money. That's why you have to work. You have to provide. Okay? You have to make sure that your financial house is in order. Because the chief thing for life is water and bread and clothing and a house to cover shame. To cover shame. And we, as a nation, okay, we disrespected the Lord. That's a shameful act. Okay? We all went off. That's why we, okay, have a place to cover our shame. What is it? I got it right here. Daniel 9 and 7. O Lord, righteousness belongeth unto thee, but unto us confusion of faces. As at this day, you go into that word confusion of face, it means shame. To the men of Judah, to the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and unto all Israel that are near and that are far off, through all the countries whither thou hast driven them because of their trespass, that they have trespassed against thee. Right, we went against our power. Okay, that's why we're here in Babylon serving our enemies for all of one of things. We have to go to our enemies. All right, we have to work for all one of things. You need an apartment, you got to go to the enemy. Okay? You need a job, you got to go to the enemy. You need a car, you got to go to the enemy. You need a driver's license, you got to go to the enemy. All right? That's our shame. Proverbs 21 and 25. The desire of the slothful killeth him, for his hands refuse to labor. Right. And this ain't just by working, it's everything. When you go into that word labor, it just means to do. All right? Just get to the point. To do, fashion, accomplish, make. To do, to deal with. You got to deal with. You got to deal with bills. You got to deal with paying the landlord. Okay? You got to deal with insurance. It's everything. We have to go to our enemy for one of all things. I keep saying it. I got it right here. Let's go to it. Deuteronomy 28 verse 48. Therefore shalt thou serve thy enemies, meaning work, thy enemies which the Lord shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee. Right. But here's the beautiful thing. Now that we know that we're Israelites, we're not caught up in this world. We get our daily bread. We pay our bills. Okay. We see that the evil is coming. Oh, we know inflation is kicking in. Let me not be reckless. Let me not just blow money. Okay. Or okay, just lend money out and then I'm asked out. I know inflation is coming in. Let me not be procrastinating. I know I got to work. I got to provide for my own and for my family. And once again, we have to go to our enemy for one of all things. But we're not destroyed anymore in the mind. We know who we are. And that's where faith comes in. Believing. Pray to Yahweh B'Shem Ahchyam. And guess what? Get your ass up and get it done. Sirach 7 and 15. Hate not laborious work, neither husbandry, which the Most High have ordained. Right. It goes all the way back to Genesis. This is part of the battle. Okay? Even when we were in King Solomon, when King Solomon was ruling, okay, not all Israel was giving out orders. Majority of Israel were working, cultivating, working, even when King Solomon was king. Because it goes back to Genesis. Things are going to get a lot tough here, brothers and sisters. And again, we're foreseeing the evil come. It's time to tighten up. All right? Do not procrastinate. Do not put things off, all right, to the very end. And then you're going to catch yourself slipping and frantic. All right? Let's go back to I'll read this. Proverbs 13:8. Poverty and shame shall be to him that refuses instruction. Right. If you don't take heed, all right, to counsel when brothers are giving counsel and admonishment, asking sincere questions. All right, the tough questions. If you don't, all right, and asking, hey, maybe you should do this, or don't do that. If you're not refusing the instruction, man, poverty and shame, man. But he that regardeth reproof shall be honored. Exactly. (22) Back to Sirach 29 and 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage, meaning a booth. When you go into that word, okay, a cottage, all right, it's pretty much a booth, all right? A temporary booth, something very small. Than delicate fare in another man's house, right? Because things happen. When you go into that word delicate, all right, it means easily to break, okay? Well, I'll pull it up. Let's go to the word delicate. Okay. Easily broken or damaged. Fragile. That's the key word, fragile. It's very frail. A frail, fragile fare. Right, because things happen. You know? Ooh, I just lost my spot. 23. Be it little or much, hold thee contented, right? Contented meaning happy and at ease, that thou hear not the reproach of thy house, right? So it's better to live on your own, okay? Be living in a house where you're calling the shots, where you're making the rules, where you're the one managing it, than to do what? 24. For it is a miserable life to go from house to house, for where thou art a stranger, thou darest not open thy mouth, right? Okay? And we're coming in a time where things are getting more expensive, all right? Things are getting more intense, and we're not out of here yet. Again, they haven't transitioned the dollar to a cashless society. We see it happening, okay? We're not even seeing them, okay, promoting the chip like they're promoting this jabberoni. You have to, all right, understand the time that you're living in, engage the prophecies so you don't catch yourself slipping. So once again, 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own house, now we know what that definition is. One more time, provide, okay, means to perceive before, foresee. You know you got a bill coming up. You know you got a lease that's about to come up, expire. What should you be doing? To provide, think of beforehand, right? Prepare, get ready. To provide for one, to take thought for, care for a thing, right? Even the most, okay, tedious stuff, right? That we're here in captivity, that we got to do this stuff. It sucks, yeah, all right? I can tell you it does suck. It does suck having to pay attention to your bills and making sure that your house is in order, all right? Because you know the truth. Like, man, I'm supposed to be a king. I'm supposed to have servants. I'm supposed to have handmaids. But guess what? You get humbled down. Why? Because we all went the fuck off. So I'm going to get up around 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning to go to work. All right? And with the money that I have, make sure my bills are paid. Make sure that I have food on the table, clothes on my back, water in the refrigerator. Okay? Make sure I have a house to cover shame. And the little money the Lord gave me, okay, then whether invested or help out a brother, okay, that okay, he went into an unexpected event, not something that he knew was coming and he just put it off and was procrastinating about it. Also, you know, when it's time to enjoy the fruits of your labor with your brothers. And that's something I like to do a lot. I like to, you know, buy drinks. That's just me. And brothers know, in my camp, brothers know. So, you know, once again, man, let's read this again. 1 Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel, right? So, you know, get your shit together. We know things are going to get a lot expensive. Things are going to get a lot harsher. All right. If you got to get 2 jobs, so be it. Okay. If you've been in this truth more than, I would say, 7 years, okay, 3 years, you should know the basics of teaching on the highways and byways. Okay. The basics. 2, 3 years. Well, Apostle R said 6 months. If you've been knowing your Israelite for 6 months, teach this word. But guess what? You need to be handling business. Handle your shit. Get your shit together. All right? And if you've been in this truth well over 7 years, you should know this by now. So with that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Ahchyam, Yahweh Shai, Ahchyam, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Ahchyam out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the 4 corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ahchyam, Yahweh Shai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring. Keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Okay? Let's keep going. Let's keep fighting. Don't procrastinate. Keep pushing. Keep fighting. Keep studying. All right? Pray without ceasing. To the few sisters that are watching, keep studying. Keep praying. Shalom and above the ball. Shalom.